Welcome everyone to the ribbon cutting for the Longfellow School. At this time, I would like to thank Galen and Sandra for the raising of the flag. Galen is responsible for getting us the flagpole from the University of Maine at Fort Kent, and Pierre Chambellan is responsible for modifying the flagpole to fit our historical site right here. So we thank them very much. And at this time, I would like to ask everybody to pledge the flag, just like we did in school. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I would like to ask our first grade teacher, Mrs. Bouchard, to say the pledge to the flag in French.
Serment de fidélité. Je promets fidélité au drapeau des États-Unis d'Amérique et à la République qu'il représente. Une nation sous Dieu, indivisible, avec liberté et justice pour tous. Bienvenue tout le monde.
Amen.
Welcome everyone to the ribbon cutting ceremony. It has been a long day in coming, and I am happy to see such a beautiful crowd and nice weather. As you know, education has played a big role in our community, starting way back from convent days when the sisters arrived here, the Daughters of Wisdom, in 1904. Then the rural schoolhouses took a big role during the 20s and 40s. And I want to point out, if you go into the Preservation Center, you can see we are honoring the class of 1924, 100 years ago. And that wasn't the first class that graduated, it was 1910. So please take a look. Their diploma is signed by then Governor Percival Baxter. So, like I said before, education has played a big part in our community, and the community's best product is its children. And we have amongst us today who's going to give some interesting remarks, one of the community's best products, Dr. Fern Desjardins. Now, she started her school career at Memorial School, did Montfort School, Wisdom High School, went on to college, got her teacher credentials, and returned to St. Agatha to begin her 43-year career in education. She started as a grade 3 teacher, she became the principal, she became the superintendent in all of those 43 years. At some point, she retired, though she didn't want to, I'm sure. She really loved her work. Upon retirement, she was appointed to the Maine State Board of Education and elected to the National Association of Educators. So she's got a long path that way. The daughter of Leonid and Clorraine Ayotte. She is a town girl, and we're very proud of her. So today, we asked her if she could say a few words on behalf of all of us about the school and the workers. I will pass the microphone to her because she is prepared. Thank you.
Thank you, Theo. The only thing, if you ask an educator to write something, you sometimes go a little too far with the pen or the laptop and you write a little too long. But I really wanted to give credit to the fine work that's taken place here. So I am truly very honored to have been asked to be a part of today's ribbon cutting ceremony for the grand opening of the Longfellow School. Since being a first grader at Memorial School here in Senegat, I've loved talking about schools and education in general. It truly is my passion in life as I continue on many educational issues. I work in my current roles, as Theo mentioned, I'm currently the chair for the 4th year on the Maine State Board of Education, and I'm also Secretary Treasurer of the National Association of State Boards of Education. It's what I love to do. So, what is so special about the Longfellow School? There is so much to be said about it, but I will touch upon just a few things. First, it opened in 1927 and was one of 11 rural schoolhouses in Senegal. Over the years, from 1927 to 1944, a total of 7 teachers taught at the school. At only 23 feet by 40 feet, you can see for yourself the size of the school. It served elementary school students to grade 8. It was located at 76 Main Street today, which is next to Maurice Guedet's house, former Maurice Guedet. The property is now owned by Maurice and Anne-Marie Guedet's 4 sons. It is the only school remaining of the 11 that served students in Senegal in the 1920s, aside from Washington School that remains part of the Agatha town office. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of that. So Washington School was originally located on Chassis Road, also named Chemin Chassis, or Le Premier Rang, near Gaintin and Terrasse Chassis Racingol's place in Flat Mountain. But it was later moved by the Agatha Fire Department to Main Street to become the fire station and the town office. A new fire station was built in 1989, and the town office now occupies the entire building that was the former Washington School. So with us today, we're very honored that Clifford Guedet is with us. Clifford, raise your hands in case someone doesn't know you. Now, Clifford is a lifelong resident of Senegal. He remembers attending Longfellow School in 1943-1944 for his first year of schooling. He would walk to the school because it was close by. He treasures memories of horse-drawn sleigh rides on the snow, and he remembers well Anne-Marie Wallet being his teacher. He speaks proudly, so very proudly, of his attendance at the little school. It closed at the end of his first year, and he then attended the Blaine School for the next 4 years, until the spring of 1948. But after the closing of Longfellow School, Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Peltier moved in the school. Mr. Peltier was a gifted storyteller, so Clifford told me just last evening that he would go visit to listen to Mr. Peltier's interesting and amazing stories. Now, before we started today, I was also speaking with Pauline Guedet, and she was giving me additional information because I was asking her, did Mr. and Mrs. Peltier have children? And yes, they did. But the school was also, they rented it for a while. Her dad, Évariste Guedet, owned the school, but they also had in the fall potato pickers that would come, and so they would live in the school and they would eat meals at Monsieur and Madame Évariste Guedet's place. So the school has quite a history. I think we need to question Pauline and Clifford a little bit more and make this part of our history books. From around 1948 to 2018, Longfellow School served as a storage facility for hay and oat-filled potato barrels on the Guedet family farm. And again, before we started today, I heard all kinds of equipment being stored in that particular storage. So there is much that could be added to this. The Senegal Historical Society long wanted to move the school to its present location right here and to refurbish it. The acquisition became a reality when Pauline Guedet Wallet, second to my right, generously donated the school to the Historical Society on February 25, 2018. What a memorable day. Let's give her a hand. That was a major milestone and a great accomplishment, but much work lay ahead. In the following 6 years, Many volunteers donated countless hours preparing the future site here and the schoolhouse back there by removing floorboards, the roof, etc., all for the school's historic 3.2 miles down Main Street to its present location here on August 31st, 2020. I remember that day well when many people cheered as they watched the school go by, even though it didn't have its roof and it was in pieces. Once the school was placed on its new foundation, the roof was put back on the school and repairs began on the leaky roof. Windows and rusted tin ceiling tiles were replaced. A woodshed, also the outhouse, was rebuilt, and electrical power, thanks to Galen Thibault and Dana Michaud, electrical power was brought to the school, and everything else was done to bring the school to its present condition that you will visit today. As repairs took place, visitors to the site provided valuable knowledge that helped with the project. For example, Silvio Thibault, right here to my right, visited from New York and showed how part of the wall could be refurbished by simply rubbing it down with brown shoe shine polish. Isn't that amazing? Thank you, Mr. Albert. Let's give him a hand. And speaking of Silvio Albert, work on the school was made possible by his most generous donation of $30,000 to the project. And many other generous donations from individuals living in or originally from Senegal. And organizations such as, and these are very important, they helped in tremendous ways, the Maine Acadian Heritage Council, the USDA Development Grant, Catholic Financial Chapter N350, and the town of St. Agatha. We're so appreciative of all their donations. Louis Albert, or some would know him as Louis Saidad, my cousin and a former student at the school, now residing in Eagle Lake, is delighted to have generously donated to the fundraising efforts of the Historical Society. Louis attended Longfellow School before he was actually of school age, because his aunt and my aunt, Cécile Ouellet, taught at the school. He walked to school carrying his lard pail. Mind you, when he told me about his lard pail, I had no idea what he was talking about, but some of you, I hate to say the older folks here would know what the lard pail was. He had his lunch inside, and he remembers well his very first word that he learned in English at the school was simply the word key, K-E-Y, key. And he remembers very distinctly the stove in the schoolhouse. He stated, Longfellow School held a very dear spot in my heart because it was the first school that I attended, and it marked the beginning of my education. I never failed to look at it when I drove by and was saddened to see it deteriorating over the years. So Louis strongly supported and continues to praise the work done in refurbishing the school. And I'm sure there are many others that we're not aware of out there that are just as proud and appreciative of the work that's taken place here. Being a part of this ribbon cutting ceremony is a wonderful privilege, but it's also extra special because, as I mentioned, Aunt Cécile Ouellet, which was one of my father's sisters, taught at the Longfellow School, as well as Anne-Marie Ouellet, who worked with me at Montfort School when I started teaching in 1974. In speaking with my cousin Lester Ouellet, he stated that Aunt Cécile walked a little over a mile to work at the school, and she was very appreciative of the help of the boys who went to get the water and those who lighted the wood stove to warm up the school. She was also very appreciative of the older students who were good at helping the younger students in this one-room schoolhouse. There are many who must be thanked for making this project possible. First, it should be noted that the project originated in a conversation between the Senegal Historical Society president, Terry Ouellet, and Galen Thibault, Galen assured Terry that it could be done, and they committed to the idea of moving the school. They are true visionaries. Let's give them a hand. Next, the Historical Society's dedicated officers and board of directors are to be highly commended for their ambitious undertaking and so many work hours. Deepest gratitude is extended to those who work directly with the move and refurbishment of the school. Stanley Albad, if you could just raise your hands when I say your name, just to make sure that everyone can see. Stan is here, I saw him earlier. Gary Boucher. Harold Chamberlain. Jean Chamberlain. Roger Jacquet. Roland Gannett. Daniel Bear Ebad. Nicholas Abad, Dana Michaud, Philippe Morin, and Galen Thibault. Recognition also goes out to Armand Guéret, who hauled away some of the messy debris. Is Armand with us? Maybe not. And to Jean and Sharon Lisette, who have meticulously, as Theo expressed to me, meticulously groomed the grounds of the Historical Society for many, many years. Jean and Sharon, are you here? Carl and Marianne Guéret donated the Longfellow sign over the front door of the school. You can see it right up there. And the hardwood flooring was donated by James and Rita Moret Chamberlain, and Rita is here, right next to the tree. I do want to note that the flooring was saved from the Queen of Peace Hall, which is now in Montfort Heights, named Montfort Heights, back in the 1980s. So we really appreciate that most wonderful donation. Lastly, recognition is given to those who sold materials or provided services at a discounted price, and there were a number of those that Theo mentioned to me. Without the generous monetary donations by individuals and organizations, work hours by volunteers, donated materials, and discounts received, the project would have extended over a longer period of time to raise additional funds. Thank you. Thank you to all who have helped and supported the project in any way. It is indeed a joyful day for current and former residents of our community, their families and friends, and all generous donors of the project as we join in today's ribbon-cutting celebration honoring the move and refurbishment of the Longfellow School by the Agathe Historical Society. What an accomplishment. Let us celebrate. Un gros merci. Un vrai gros merci pour votre attention et bonne journée. Profitez des activités du Summerfest. Merci.
We have come to the ribbon cutting, but while I still have all your attention, we're going to have the Chanteur Acadien inside the school. That's a historic moment because it's the first time, the first performance in the school. And then after you've listened to their enjoyable music, we want you to go to the preservation building, sign the guest book. You will be given complimentary by Françoise Paradis, a book of A Tale of Acadie, and then you'll be treated to some good old-fashioned des beignets. Okay, so now for the ribbon cutting, here we go.
Not the shed, it's this city, not more than any.